Prosecution complaint against Rana Ayyub. So that's trouble there mounting for Rana Ayyub as the Enforcement Directorate has filed a prosecution complaint under the PMLA Act. What we are given to understand is that this ED, the Enforcement Directorate, had initiated money laundering investigation on the basis of an FIR that was registered on 7th of September 2021 by the Indrapuram police station. We'll go across to Shravan as well for more details on that, but that's a big breaking update coming in right now. Trouble there mounting for Rana Ayyub as the Directorate of Enforcement has filed a prosecution complaint against Rana Ayyub. What we're given to understand is that the ED had initiated a money laundering investigation in this matter. Basis an FIR that was registered on 7th of September 2021. That was the FIR that was registered in the Indrapuram police station, Ghaziabad, under various sections of the IPC IT Amendment Act 2008 and Black Money Act against Rana Ayyub, alleging that she illegally acquired funds from general public in the name of charity by launching fundraiser campaigns on an online crowdfunding platform, Keto. It was also alleged that Rana Ayyub is a journalist by profession and received foreign contribution without registration under the FCRS. So those are the grave allegations that Rana Ayyub is facing at this point. We are given to understand is that in this prosecution complaint that has been filed against her, our senior editor Shravan is joining us for more details. Shravan, give us more details on the prosecution complaint against Rana Ayyub. We'll go across to Shravan again, but the grave allegations that Rana Ayyub is facing at this point are help in raising funds. These investigations are related to this fundraiser, the 3 fundraiser campaigns on Keto platform that was started in April 2020, in which the fundraiser campaign raised amount over 2 crore rupees that was raised pertaining to help in raising funds for slum dwellers and farmers, relief work for Assam, Bihar and Maharashtra, and those were some of the campaigns that were led by Rana Ayyub. These are 3 fundraiser campaigns on Keto platform. Shravan is back with us, breaking those details for us. Shravan, over to you, give us more details.
Well, in fact, the latest details that we are picking up, Samiksha, in the charge sheet that has now been filed by the Enforcement Directorate, they made an allegation that Rana Ayyub illegally acquired funds, that too from the public, in the name of charity by launching fundraiser campaigns on an online crowdfunding platform which goes by the name of Keto. In fact, Rana Ayyub's statement has also been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate, and in which she was specifically asked this question, whether at all she had taken any sort of approval from the Ministry of Home Affairs in terms of whether at all she had an FCRA registration. We're given to understand that she received foreign contribution, that too without any registration under the FCRA. Now, the details that have been put out as far as those 3 fundraiser campaigns on the Keto platform starting from April 2020, it is given to understand under three important aspects: help in raising funds for slum dwellers and farmers, relief work for Assam, Bihar and Maharashtra, and help Rana Ayyub and her team to help those impacted by COVID-19 in India. Now, these were the 3 campaigns that she had essentially started. An investigation by the Enforcement Directorate basically revealed the fund raised on the online platforms were received in the accounts of her father and sister, and subsequently it was transferred to her personal accounts. In fact, Rana Ayyub has been accused of utilizing these funds to create a fixed deposit of about 50 lakh rupees for herself and also transferred 50 lakh rupees in a new bank account. In fact, not only that, 29 lakh rupees was only used for the relief work. In order to claim more expenses towards relief work, fake bills were submitted by Rana Ayyub. That's the allegation that is being leveled. The fake bills were basically utilized. And the bank balances that have now been checked by the Enforcement Directorate in the accounts of Rana Ayyub, about 50 lakh rupees in FD were attached. And we're also being told that she apparently illegally raised about 2.69 crore rupees by launching these three online campaigns, which she says, which the enforcement director maintains was done in a fraudulent manner, which essentially means that she had cheated the public.
Yes. Shravan, just a follow-up question. I remember we had earlier confronted Rana Ayyub as well. If you could take us through through that conversation as well as to what Rana Ayyub had to say when she was confronted by us on these grave allegations that she's facing. All right, we seem to have lost that connection with Shravan, but that's a breaking update coming in. Rana Ayyub there facing these grave allegations which are related to the three fundraiser campaigns on Keto platform, which was started from April 2020. Through this fundraiser campaign, Rana Ayyub led fundraiser campaigns, collected funds amounting to over 2 crore rupees. These funds were related to raising of funds for slum dwellers and farmers, relief work for Assam, Bihar and Maharashtra. So what we are given to understand is that the Enforcement Directorate has filed a prosecution complaint against Rana Ayyub under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and this after an FIR was registered which dates back to 7th of September 2021 in the Indrapuram police station of Ghaziabad under various sections of IPC 1860, Information Technology Amendment Act 2008 and Black Money Act as well, in which it was alleged that Rana Ayyub illegally acquired funds from general public in the name of charity by launching fundraiser campaign on an online crowdfunding platform Keto, as Shravan was telling us. Shravan is back with us, joining us live. Shravan, once again take us through these allegations that Rana Ayyub is facing.
Well, in fact, let's just quickly take our viewers to the details that we are getting from the charges that have been filed by the Enforcement Directorate. Multiple charges that have been leveled against journalist Rana Ayyub. Now, it does appear that there were three specific campaigns which were started by Rana Ayyub. This was post the pandemic, and if I can just take our viewers through the three campaigns that were started. One, she called it Help in Raising Funds for Slum Dwellers and Farmers. The second campaign was relief work for Assam, Bihar and Maharashtra. The third one was Help Rana Ayyub and her team to help those impacted by COVID-19 in India. Now, a total of 2.69 crore rupees. That's the amount that was raised by Rana Ayyub. And these are fundraiser campaigns. It was done on a Keto platform. Now, essentially what has happened is that for all these fundraising campaigns, especially if there is a foreign contribution that is coming in, as per the procedure, is you need to get a clearance or FCRA license from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Whether at all Rana Ayyub had that, as per the Enforcement Directorate, she had no FCRA clearance, number one. Number two, she was essentially asked to provide the details of the funds that came in and what was it actually utilized for. Whether at all it was utilized for the very purpose that she was seeking those donations for. The Enforcement Director categorically making a point here that it wasn't used for the purpose that she had collected those funds. In fact, the allegation, the grave allegation that has been leveled by the Enforcement Director against Rana Ayyub is that she has utilized this money raised through these fundraiser campaigns for her own personal work. And if I can just take you through some of the details of the charge sheet that has been filed, and this is what the Enforcement Directorate says. Rana Ayyub utilized these funds to create a fixed deposit of about 50 lakh rupees for herself and also transferred about 50 lakh rupees in a new bank account. Enforcement Directorate investigation revealed that only approximate 29 lakh rupees was used for the relief work. So of the 2.69 crore rupees that was raised through these very campaigns, according to the Enforcement Directorate, only about 29 lakh rupees was actually used for the relief work. And what is even more shocking is that when she was basically asked to explain that the money that she has received, how exactly was it utilized and whether at all she has the proof for it, it turns out that in order to claim more expenses towards relief work, fake bills were submitted by Rana Ayyub. The allegation here is Rana Ayyub has submitted fake bills only to justify the expenses, when it turns out that large part of the money was actually being utilized for her own personal work. Rana Ayyub essentially started submitting fake bills. Enforcement Directorate also goes on to say that she illegally raised about 2.69 crore rupees by launching 3 online campaigns in the name of charity by cheating the general public. So what the Enforcement Directorate has done in this particular charge sheet, following the statement that was recorded of Rana Ayyub, in fact, she was also stopped from going abroad, primarily because the Enforcement Directorate had also issued a lookout circular against her. It was only after the courts had basically intervened that she was essentially allowed to step out of the country. But going back to the crux of this entire story, now this is a major allegation that has been leveled against Rana Ayyub. Whether she is going to respond on this, she has been very vocal on various matters, but the fact of the matter here is that these are very serious allegations that have been leveled against her. If there was nothing wrong that was essentially done by her, then what is going to be very important is that she could have perhaps put out details of the funds that were actually received by her. Whether she was in a position to explain those funds, it turns out from this particular charge sheet, perhaps she hasn't been able to explain or satisfy the agency with regards with whatever proof she has at her disposal.
Well, absolutely. Shravan, stay with us. Our executive editor Niranjan also joining us. Niranjan, one of those serious charges include that over 2 crore rupees that was collected. Why these campaigns? Only 29 lakh was used for the campaign work.
Well, what a scam this is turning out to be, Shravan and Samiksha, because, you know, we have the details of the Enforcement Directorate investigation that Shravan has sent us, and it appears, Shravan, from this investigation, what was collected for the following: help in raising funds for slum dwellers and farmers, one of the excuses used. Second, relief work for Assam, Bihar and Maharashtra, scam. Third issue, help Rana Ayyub and her team to help those impacted by COVID-19 in India. So these were the 3 campaigns that were launched by this so-called journalist called Rana Ayyub, who launched a campaign. Her claim to fame is, taking on the government or anything or anyone who remotely appears to be close to the government. Now, her entire job has been to run down, and in this effort, she's run down the entire country several times, and she tries to position herself as some sort of a messiah. It appears, Shravan, from the details of the investigation, she collected 2 crore 69 lakhs 44,680 rupees from Keto platform from April 2020, and it appears that she actually used 29 lakh rupees, which is roughly about 10.7%. Shravan, 10.7%, which means 90%, almost 90% of the money collected was scammed. She put it into her own account, created a fixed deposit for herself, etc. Shravan.
Well, it's amply clear from the charge sheet that has been filed by the Enforcement Directorate that large percentage of the funds that were raised by her, at least through 3 campaigns that she essentially started, large part of it was basically be used for personal expenses. So of the 2.69 crore rupees that she had raised over a period of time in the name of certain campaigns, be it for flood relief or for that matter pandemic, to help those affected because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it turns out that only about 29 lakh rupees, that's the amount, 29 lakh rupees of the 2.69 that she had raised, was actually used for the relief material. But the bigger point here is that if at all there was an intention to actually receive this particular money for these funds, for these campaigns,